Maybe if we gave Peter a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy.
What kind of present?
Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
What?
Over the years, Quill has talked about one person more than any other. A legendary hero who has saved countless lives. We could give him to Quill as a present.
Ho, ho, ho! I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to A Bite-O,
where we take our current festive pop culture obsession and enjoy it one cookie crumble at a time.
You can't just change stuff.
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
We're celebrating the holidays a little early, but that's because it's James Gunn's fault.
Agreed. Disney Plus did this to us.
Disney Plus did it.
Look, I am a firm believer of enjoy Christmas or the holidays as long as you want, but I personally like to get to Thanksgiving, and then as long as it's after Thanksgiving, I think it's fair game.
Yeah, I know some people that like to do the tree before Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's weird. I'm fine. I think after Halloween, it's all fair game. Honestly, I don't really care.
I mean, I don't really care that. I just mean for my personal. It's just something like if I'm still seeing jack-o'-lanterns, I'm like, Holly Jolly Christmas?
That's fine. I'm all for a Halloween Christmas.
Put a scarf on her.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into it, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok, and Hive, and all of that stuff at A Bite of Pod. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. 5 stars. Leave a little comment. We like to see it. And then also, I'm wearing this very nice Christmas embroidered Hawkeye-inspired sweatshirt that is on our merch shop. So, go there. If you're a Patreon member, you get 10% off. Wow, wow. Like the show, support us on Patreon. That's all I got to say.
Remember when we had how many episodes of A Bite of did we do for Christmas times? I mean, Hawkeye was what?
The whole thing.
7, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
Delightful.
6. 6 whole episodes.
And here we are just with one.
Exactly a year from today. Or actually last year we did Hawkeye, first episode. Yep.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
What a holiday romp that was.
But we are covering the very much anticipated holiday special of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's another Marvel presentation. I'm so excited for these. I love them.
You know, it really sets a different tone when that laser light show happens in the beginning. That's like Marvel's special presentation.
Oh, yeah. Growing on me more and more of these presentations. But we need to get into it. So spoiler alert. We don't want to ruin your Christmas. We don't want to ruin your holiday cheer. Go watch it. It's 42 minutes.
Yes.
And then hear our thoughts.
We don't want to be a Grinch, that's for sure. So let us officially take a bite of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Ooh.
An animated flashback being told from nowhere reveals to Mantis and Drax that a young Peter wanted to introduce Yondu to Christmas, but this extension of festive tradition was met with Scrooge-like humbug and tree smashing. Wanting to give him the holiday cheer he deserves, Mantis and Drax set off for Earth to bring Peter a one-of-a-kind present, Kevin Bacon.
Guys. Oh, man. All right, so there's not much in this. I will say right off the top. Not much happens in this as far as, what does it mean for the MCU? It doesn't mean anything.
No.
Hardly anything, I should say. And it's just a fun holiday special.
Oh, yeah. I wrote a fun holiday romp. Good times for the whole family.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm really liking about these Marvel presentations is we got Werewolf by Night, which is so much different than this one. But it's showing that creators can just flex their versatility muscles, but also give us that nice 1 issue and a 9-issue story arc that's just different from everything else. I love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well. And sort of thinking of it logically in a way, we only see these characters during one very specific period of time. So it's nice to see them at other times. Maybe not always during the holidays, but this one in particular is delightful.
Yeah, and it gives us a chance to see side characters or supporting characters get the time to shine a little bit. And Drax and Mantis really got that in this, which I loved because they've always been pushed to the side. I mean, even Nebula's gotten more screen time than they have, and it paid off. I think it was great.
Oh, definitely. And, again, the Guardians of the Galaxy always has a bit of humor into it, but this really leaned into the humor. And I thought that Mantis and Drax really played off of each other well. Palm Clementif and Dave Bautista just bring life to the roles, and just we're having a lot of fun the entire time.
I'm just more excited for Palm to get her day in the sun. I want more from that character. I love the character in the comics. It's very different, but I've just always wanted more of Mantis.
Agreed.
And now that we got the revelation that we did in this, I feel like we might get a little more. So the meat and potatoes of this special is Mantis and Drax on Earth trying to get Kevin Bacon to bring him to Star-Lord. Everything happens really quick, but I loved their scene in Hollywood, especially like Hollywood Boulevard. When she saw that guy dressed as Steve and ran to him, it was like, Steve. I was like, oh, no.
Mantis doesn't understand.
No. But it was really cute to see. It's a fish out of water experience. They haven't really spent much time on Earth like at all. So to see the two least likely to be doing something like this, but the most likely to come to the conclusion to go get Kevin Bacon is perfect.
And it's funny watching them together, right? Because as characters, Mantis is sort of this highly emotional character, and Dax is this character that is even toned and takes everything literally. So the two of them working together, she's getting very excited about things. He's seeing enemies where there aren't any enemies. It's hilarious to watch.
I liked seeing the gang back together aside from Gamora, but with the addition of Cosmo, feel like they haven't felt like the Guardians in a while. Love and Thunder was a weird interpretation of them. I'm just going to put that out there. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2, perfect. Infinity War, it's second best, but I'm excited to see Volume 3. I like these. It just felt different from the last time we saw them in Love and Thunder, and I like where they're going. The beginning of this, we see Cosmo a little bit, which I love that character. I love that it's James Gunn made it as the real dog that was, set in space by the Soviet Union. But he made it a girl because it's like, I'm just going back to the source material. I'm just going to make it.
I also thought it was great that her, I guess, dog translator had a Russian accent as well.
Oh, yeah. She's Russian.
Yeah, it was great.
100% Russian.
And sort of seeing her play off Rocket. I mean, they're both animal-based creatures. I mean, she's definitely an animal. I know we don't call Rocket a raccoon. Otherwise, he'll kick your butt. But it was funny. They're just, fixing things up together. Apparently, Cosmo can control things with her mind. So
yeah, she's telekinetic.
I love this introduction.
Yeah, she got the powers in the comics from cosmic rays. That's all the explanation you need.
You know what? Sometimes in comics, that is enough.
That's
gamma rays, radiation.
Yeah,
cosmic.
I like that it was a continuation from the Collector storyline, because we saw Cosmo way back when in the cage. The Collector had it, and that Collector really owned Nowhere, and now we see that the Guardians own it because they took it, took it from the Collector. I am wondering where Howard the Duck is at the moment, but it is nice that they're kind of turning Nowhere into more of a headquarters / we're not going to treat people the way they were treated.
Absolutely. And I think that this, for some reason, how they're creating this home on Nowhere, it felt sort of Star Warsian to me, right? It felt like we were on some sort of planet. Granted, we were, but the way that things looked, very, you know what I mean? It just
felt like the thing of where we were.
Well, it just felt like, I don't know, sort of the Star Wars holiday special.
How dare you? Same company. It's fine.
Yeah, it seems like they can sort of be in the same world. Something about the look of it felt very much like I was on Tatooine or something like that.
Lord. We're going to have Star Wars people be like, actually, it looks more like Planet Ramadan.
Well, then fine. I'll just tell you right now, I picked the one planet out of my brain that I knew of Star Wars.
Naboo?
So. You too? I don't know what that.
That's another planet.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right. So, Kevin Bacon in this. I'm just going to be full transparency. Kevin Bacon's fine. To me, he's great. He's not a draw for me. I'll just put it at that. I think he's fine. I loved him in this. I love that he just kind of gave himself over to the absurdity of what was happening in this, but also when he finally like leaned into it towards the end, it was just so much fun to watch.
Yeah. I'm trying to like picture, I'm like, I guess a kid that was a teenager, maybe in the 80s, like Kevin Bacon was someone that you looked up to.
100%.
So that's where this is coming from. And I'm sure there are some, 40 somethings out there going, yeah, Kevin Bacon. I mean, get it.
He saved a town by dancing, and then Star-Lord took that same thing and saved the galaxy by dancing. So we got to thank Kevin Bacon.
You're right.
Saving
Without Kevin Bacon and Footloose, where would this world be now? But there is a funny thing about Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon has played Kevin Bacon before in things. Kevin Bacon was
He's one of those characters.
He is. It's like there's Kevin Bacon the actor, and then there's Kevin Bacon the character. In Will and Grace, he played himself, and Jack was stalking him. And the funny thing about that is that in that, he gets a call from his wife, Kira Sedgwick, who is also very famous in her own right. And we see the same thing in this. So it's like people are like, well, when Kevin Bacon's in it, we got to write Kira Sedgwick into it in some way.
I mean, she had a couple scenes, voice scenes, but it was nice.
She is also in the MCU now.
Oh
officially.
My God. I mean, to think, which is hilarious because so he played villain in one of like the First Class X-Men.
Mm.
And so now if we're thinking about it in the multiverse, somewhere in the multiverse, he is a villain to the X-Men, now dead. But so Kevin Bacon is almost 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We can get to so many people now.
But how do you do 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon between multiverses?
It crosses the multiverse.
They just replace each other. You could take whichever one you want.
Yeah. In the spirit of holidays, I have a question that I wanted to ask because I actually don't know this about you. And I'm very curious. So as Yondu literally stomped on Peter's Christmas spirit, when did you realize that Santa was not real?
So I was Peter and my older brother was my Yondu.
Oh, you know what? I could see that. Cliff.
We were sitting at my grandmother's kitchen table.
Oh my God.
And I think I was like 10, I think 10 or 11. And he just turns to me and he goes, "You don't believe in Santa anymore, do you?"
That's so mean.
And feeling completely pressured because guess what? I did still believe in Santa.
What do you say?
No. So then he goes, "Do you want to see where our presents are?" Because my grandmother's house, my grandmother only lived around the corner from us. So she was the hiding spot for all of our presents. So that year for Christmas, I knew every single one of my presents.
Wow.
Terrible.
That sucks. Your brother's a jerk.
Well, that's like older brother duty, I guess, is to break reality to your younger sibling.
That's so mean. How did he find out Santa wasn't real?
That I don't know.
Interesting.
That's a good
Call
question.
him right now.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Please don't do that.
I think that before my grandmother's house, my parents used to hide our presents in our attic. And I think maybe he kind of put 2 and 2 together.
I don't know when I didn't know. Again, I come from a very religious household, so sweet baby Jesus was the one that brought us our presents.
Thank you, Jesus.
But I do remember a time where Santa was a thing, but there's a gap in my memory where I don't know when it changed from full-on whimsical Christmas to very religious Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, my family members that are listening to this. They would literally bake a cake for Christmas because it's Jesus' birthday.
And you'd sing happy birthday?
Yeah. And he would give us presents. So I don't remember when. I always knew Santa was a thing, but it's so weird. I don't remember the change. When was the change?
That's a big change. It sounds like you've blocked it out of your memory, actually.
Maybe it was just kind of like summer. And my mom was like, by the way, Santa's not real. Jesus gives you your presents. This is.
I mean, on some level, I guess we're getting presents no matter what.
Right.
So that's great.
Yeah. And it was always in her closet underneath all of her coats that hung. It was not.
The coats?
Yeah. It was very easy to find. There was 6 of us. So there was very easy.
Yeah.
But on to a more less weird Christmassy stuff. I did really like that. Not only did this special give us great Christmas songs that are earworms, and I can't wait to download them, but also gave us that animated flair to it. I mean, even the greats, like Elf has an animated part to it. The Year Without Santa, those types of things. It just feels very reminiscent of,
Yeah.
I need this for a holiday movie or type thing. I liked it. I like that they gave us that little animated thing. We saw it twice, but it was cool.
Yeah, it feels, like you said, very nostalgic. It feels like, I don't know, a kid's Christmas, right?
Right.
So when he's a little kid experiencing that Christmas, we would see it as a kid would see it, sort of as a cartoon.
Mhm.
And it did. It felt very much a nod to, although it wasn't claymation or stop motion, it still had that feel to it. The way they were drawn, their eyes, their hair. It felt like Rudolph and those great classics. So I liked that it started off that way, sort of, based in this younger, it's like a way of doing a flashback that's not just casting a younger actor.
Yeah, and it gives it an excuse not only for them to save money a little bit, but like it just makes sense with the type of story they're telling. You can't have a Christmas thing without some type of claymation animation type thing. Something happening.
Gotta have animation, snow, and lights.
Yeah. But another thing that they added that is very much in the Christmas spirit, aside from the beautifully decorated Kevin Bacon house with all of the giant candy canes and inflatable elves that you could want, is it had that like kind of mischief adventure, like trying to get that thing. It's very like jingle all the way. Yeah. Getting that one thing. Kevin Bacon is the action figure that they want to get for him. And I like seeing these two navigate something that they don't know and culture they don't know. They partied their ass off, which Mantis is a great dancer. Didn't expect that. Fantastic dancer. Drax can drink a lot.
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, they both can drink a lot, apparently. Their time on Hollywood Boulevard gave them the cash they needed to really experience a holiday hoedown.
I like that they were like, they don't have Earth money. We need a way for them to get Earth money to then drink. So
right.
Let's have them pose as people posing as other people. It's so funny.
Or I was just thinking the people think that they're fake people. They're fake versions of them, but they're really the real versions of them.
Oh my God.
Although the one person did think that Drax was God of War.
Oh my God. Yeah. I got a picture with God of War. It's so funny. I commend those people that do that for a living and that can do that. The ones that are in Times Square always creep me out.
Oh, the sad off-brand like Elmo.
It's just the proportions are just not right.
Something about the eyes.
Yeah, but when Drax saw that GoBot, Mantis is like, a GoBot killed his cousin.
Yes.
It's so funny.
So GoBots are actual real things. So we have that to look forward to in the MCU, apparently.
Yeah, every time Mantis yelled Drax at Drax, it was just hilarious. It was so good. James Gunn has a really good way of doing emotional stuff if he needs to in action, but then also not undercutting it with comedy. It all just feels natural.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the world that he built in this particular special felt very real to itself.
Right.
Nothing felt out of place. It was like, yeah, these are people from space going to Earth experiencing Christmas and Kevin Bacon. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly how it would go. And I think the thing that we have to remember, though, is that they're also warriors on some level. So, we have a scene where they're flipping cars over and
so good,
getting tickled by bullets. And
I'm just, for like a holiday special and it only being 42 minutes, that fight scene was so good. Like, Mantis brought it down.
It was super fun. And I just loved seeing them jumping all over the place.
Chasing him through the town. I wonder, was that really Kevin Bacon's house? I'm curious.
I don't know. That house felt a little too modern.
Stagey?
For me. Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
I feel like Kevin is more of a down-home guy. I mean, he plays the guitar. I think that
Are you thinking of like the barn in Footloose? Was that?
Yeah, I think he lives in that barn, actually. And he still dances in the rafters. Yeah. He had them rebuild that on his land.
I'd be very disappointed if he did not do that.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Bacon hoedown. Let's go.
You know what? And I think there would be a bar in there. He makes it a social event. So you could dance in the Footloose barn, but there's also a bar for drinks.
100%.
I want to go to this place. Please.
I like that we saw Mantis using her powers a little more, aside from on Thanos trying to get him to sleep. And then Peter Quill ruined that, but we're not going to bring that up. But it was cool to see how comfortable she is in them and using them in that way. It was very effortless for her. Even getting the map. She's like, give me the map for free. She just gave it. Here you go.
Yeah, and that person on the street saw how desperate they were, there was no way that map really cost $40.
Oh, it costs whatever they want to get charged. 100%.
And Mantis said, come here, let me tell you a story. Let me touch your hand. You're going to give me the map.
For free.
And all your money.
Yeah.
A little bonus cash.
It's so good. Oh my God. So when they bring Kevin Bacon, I have to say Kevin Bacon because we're not on a first name basis at all.
And did you notice they either called him Kevin Bacon or Mr. Bacon? He was never Kevin throughout the entire thing.
You can't. Also, there's like Kevin Feige. You can't confuse the two.
Oh, no, don't go there. KF would never allow that.
Yeah. I loved when they were finally revealing the present to Peter, and with the whole like staging of everything, putting the lights everywhere, the music, even Nebula just begrudgingly being a part of it, which is so in her character. But it was sweet. It was so sweet. Those were the moments that you needed in a holiday movie like this. You needed the person that didn't have their Christmas cheer anymore to believe in Christmas again until he saw what they got him. Right. But he was very happy. And they also got the whole, I don't know if you want to say the whole head planet involved, but at least that sector of nowhere, they were all dressed up. They were here for it. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And I feel like, seeing our returning favorites, right? Groot is back.
No, we got to call him Swoot. He's a swole Groot now.
Dude lifts. That dude lifts.
He has to be like a senior in high school by now or something.
Right? Or like 1920. I was thinking like he spends his time at the gym working out however trees work out. But the thing I love about Groot, though, is that even in his new form and as he's getting older, he's still just delightful.
Oh, yeah.
Like you want to hang out with Groot. He's loving the music. He's dancing. He's apparently a very intricate carver of delightful Christmas scenes.
Oh, my God. Giving Kraglin a diorama of himself holding the present that he was going to open. It's so good.
It was so good.
It's so good. But when I like that the flip on Kevin Bacon after like she wakes him up and everything like that, and he's going to go back to Earth. But then when Kraglin is kind of explaining things to him a little bit, he's like, okay, fine. I'll help this guy that's apparently a fan of me believe in Christmas. And then he sings a Christmas song. It's so perfect.
Well, I mean, Kevin Bacon has the Bacon Brothers band.
What?
He had a band.
No, he did not.
Yes.
Are you?
He really sings and plays the guitar.
Well, no, I know he really sings and plays the
band.
guitar, but I didn't know he had a band.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Is it good?
I don't really know. I just know that he has one. So my childhood,
it's a thing.
My childhood growing up was my mom watching shows like Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood. So Entertainment Tonight, I guess, Kevin Bacon might just be Hollywood's sweetheart. And so
everybody loves Kevin Bacon.
They love him. Yeah. And so he was always on Entertainment Tonight. And they were like, he's with his band and blah, blah, blah. So Kevin Bacon has a band. People comment below, is his band good?
Yeah. Again, very easy thing for us to look up, but let us know. I would love to know.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, if you do have a favorite song, let us know which ones we should listen to.
Which one is your favorite Bacon Brothers song?
Oh my God, I need to see a music video like right now.
I'm sure there's a lot of dancing. Those footloose moves coming back.
Yeah. But, okay, we can't talk about this without talking about the sibling in the room. So we know Ego from Volume 2 is Peter's dad. Mm-hmm. We know that Ego was a bit of a disgusting person and somebody that wanted to plant his seed everywhere.
Yuck.
I know. Well, literally.
He's the Nick Cannon of the MC.
Roasted. Very true. And so Mantis knows that he's also her father. And we kind of got a glimpse of that in Volume 2 where it shows him like with all the women he was with. And there was somebody that resembled Mantis. So she's been holding this. Drax knows about it as well. And it's always an interesting thing in this type of stuff. I'm like, why they're keeping it a secret. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is one of the few times where it makes sense. She's like, he killed his mother. He's also terrible. I don't want him to think of me that way. Which is so sweet and kind of heartbreaking.
It's very sad. She doesn't want to be a representation of the thing that took Peter's family away from him. No. But at the same time, it's sort of like, well, Peter is part of that as well. Peter's half of ego as well. So
Yeah.
don't be too hard on yourself, Mantis.
I think it says something about her character with she has the ability to make him be okay with it.
Right.
And she chooses not to. It's really sweet.
Yeah, whenever I think of Mantis as a character, I only see little hearts. Like, there's nothing that's ever like, ooh, she's scary, or she was bad at one point, or
Right.
whatever.
She was terrifying when she was jumping around those walls in Kevin Bacon's house. That was scary.
Get her brother the present he always wanted.
She kept growling, and she was moving so fast.
I mean,
it was scary.
Right, Mantis, praying Mantis. Do praying Mantis, do they jump a lot?
Oh, yeah. They have wings, too.
Yeah, and they're the ones where, like, the lore is that the female eats,
they eat. Yeah,
they eat the male after.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
she
fine.
has that running through her.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think it only comes from a place of good.
Oh, yeah.
So she would never want to use it against Peter.
No, which is good, though. But it definitely shows to her character that she's doing that. But when we finally get the moment, it was so sweet. I have to admit, I got a little teary, and I didn't think I would. When she finally tells Peter that I'm your sister. And it was the best Christmas present he ever got. He was so happy.
Well, let's think about it, right?
I don't want to.
Well,
I just want to be happy.
In volume 2, he's looking for his family. He finally finds family, and it turns out he's a jackhole.
Yeah.
So now he's not alone.
Yeah.
Even though he has this family he's created, he literally has someone that he's related to now.
Yeah.
And they get to travel the universe and save the day together.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, but it makes me worry. I'm very scared. Because once they reveal something like that, you know that something's going to either come between them. One of them could die. I don't know. It's the 3rd volume coming up, and it's James Gunn's like, he's wrapping up his time with the Guardians.
Who's getting thrown off a cliff this time?
I'm so nervous. I know that it's going to go into Rocket's backstory, which is very terribly sad.
That I don't want to see.
I'm very nervous about this volume 3. I kind of looked up to see what James Gunn's thinking was with making this, and does it relate to the 3rd one? And he says there's kind of just things planted that he doesn't have to explain when volume 3 comes up.
Gotcha.
So technically you do have to watch this. I feel like it's going to be self-explanatory in it, but he's kind of just planting things where it's like, this is where the characters are now, and then continue the story from there. But he did say it's going to be heartbreaking, so I'm not too happy about that.
Marvel really does love to break some hearts. What are they gonna kill Groot again? Like, I mean, they just want us to be real sad all the time.
Yeah.
Marvel's not afraid to really destroy the world.
No.
Literally.
Yeah. But I think this special is nothing but pure joy. I think it checks all the boxes of what you would want from a holiday movie, especially for the family. And it's like a yearly watch. I feel like I could watch this, put it in my rotation of the holiday movies that I like to watch.
You're right. Like we said before, it has animation, snow, lights, and music. What more could you want from a holiday movie?
You know what?
Tell me.
I would want a full circle moment, just like Rocket Raccoon when he got Bucky's arm. He told him in Infinity War, I want that arm, and he finally got it.
Where was it? Where was she storing that?
How did she get it?
I don't know. Nebula just has secrets.
Does Bucky have an arm? Well, I think he does, because...
Well, this was the silver arm.
No, it looked like the black and goldy one.
Oh, I thought it was the silver one, his first one.
I feel like he's had multiple arms, so... Yeah. Is it the one that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier? Maybe.
What color was his arm in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. He wore a lot of shirts.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, because he had the silver one with the red star. That's when he was Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then he had the Wakanda arm, which that one kind of looks like the Wakanda arm. So I'm not too sure. Anyway, he's missing an arm, or he left an arm somewhere, or he woke up and he's like, my arm's gone.
Yeah. I vaguely remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, the arm coming off.
Well, yeah, the Dora Milaje took it off of him.
Yes.
Because it was the Wakanda arm.
Oh, that's right.
And they knew how to take it off. Yep.
That's right.
So
what a mystery.
Which arm is this? And does he know what's missing?
So that's the thing. Is Bucky just hanging out somewhere like, where did I put my arm?
But what is Rocket going to do with it is what I want to know.
Oh, proudly display it.
He's just going to have it on a big stick so he can reach people.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Or maybe he'll make it like stand up and it'll hold a bowl of grapes.
Fun.
Delicious.
Hold the snacks.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted it for. Home decor.
Oh, I think so. I don't think he really wanted it for any weapon. I think he had a nice corner in his living room that he was looking at. That would go right there, baby.
All right. Let's wrap up this
Like a present.
Exactly. This wonderful special. I am very excited. They're 2 for 2 with these special presentations. I'm very excited to see what we get next. There's no word of what could possibly be next. There's like a man thing floating around somewhere, but could be for Halloween. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I felt like there's no villain in this. It was refreshing. I liked it a lot. I mean, that's all I could say with it, really.
I agree. I think it was a lot of fun. I think that the stakes were very low, which was nice to not see these characters fearing for their life. I mean, Kevin Bacon was for a second, but
Mantis took care of that.
And the Christmas cheer got to him, and he, was there to bring happiness and joy and play his guitar. So yeah, I think 2 thumbs up. I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
No.
It's just fun and sort of goofy, and just go with it.
Yeah, I don't think that you need to... It's good to know the prior stuff, but it sets up little things that are going to be self-explanatory in the next thing. It's just nice when it's... I don't want to say there's like fatigue or whatever, but like constantly having to be like, how does this connect to this? How does this connect to this? And it's just nice to be like, I know these characters and I'm just enjoying what's going on with them right now.
Ditto.
Before we get our hearts broken and ripped out with Volume 3.
It's coming.
So this technically ends Phase 4. Like it's just no more Phase 4. Ant-Man and the Wasp starts Phase 5. And I don't think things are going to get better for me. Starting at Phase 5. We're getting over our grief to only have more grief.
I mean, I don't think everyone's going to make it out of that quantum mania realm alive.
No.
Poor Michelle Pfeiffer is going to get stuck there again.
Oh, stop. I could see her dying. That's not nice.
She was like, why am I back here?
Yeah.
Why did I go in that room during that experiment? Terrible.
I told you to turn it off.
Damn you, children.
Yes. Okay. Happy holidays. I mean, you're going to hear from us before then.
I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, I hope the rest of 2022 treats you well. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to A Bite of. Artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite of. Bye!